All right. Hi. I'm going to go ahead and get started. And as people try to get in, I will let them into the Zoom here. But I know it's 2:02 and our time is important. So I want to first introduce myself. My name is Kelly Atkinson, and I am the coordinator for the Envirothon for our area. I work at the Piedmont Soil and Water Conservation District, and I will show you more about that in just a minute. And the purpose of this Zoom is to go over what Envirothon is going to look like this year because it looks different. So if you have questions, just let me know. Hopefully I'll cover everything in here because I know a couple of the coaches couldn't make it. So I want to answer any questions, and I want them to have an opportunity to see the recorded version and ask me questions. This is being recorded so that I can share it with the coaches and they can share it with their teams as well. So it's going to look different than in years past, but personally, I was a coach for 6 years, and I think the format that was decided by the planning committee is a really good format. So I think it will work really well, but we'll see. All right, so I want to tell you a little bit about the soil and water districts because as a coach myself, it took me a while to figure all of this out. So there's 47 soil and water district offices within the state. And you can see on this map that there are 6 different areas, and each area in the past had Envirothon teams within that area. So the competition was that area, all the teams in that area competed, and the top 3 winners went on to the state. It's a little bit different this year. And you might hear me say the association. That just means the Virginia Soil and Water Conservation District. They are in Midlothian, and they oversee the whole state program. So if I say the association, I'm just meaning the state Soil and Water District. So your team is going to, it represents the Piedmont district, and the Piedmont district is where I work, and you'll see the acronym right there. We are located in Area 5, and we are Amelia County, Nottoway County, and Prince Edward County schools. And any school in any one of those counties that has a high school is welcome to have an Envirothon team. So you can see our counties, we're kind of in the center of the state, and we are, historically speaking, and we are Area 5. So in the past, it would have just been teams in Area 5 competing against each other. But this year, because this is the year of everything different, this year, the committee decided that we are going to combine areas for the competition. We were just thinking, because it is virtual, if we don't combine the areas, there'll be too many teams. So we are going to be combined with Area 4. So you can see on the map there, the 2 areas. So all of the teams in Area 5 and Area 4 together will be in the same competition. Right now, there will be, and we don't know for sure because some teams are still coming on. As of right now, we probably will have about 10 teams competing against each other. And the top 3 teams will move on to the state. Here's some information I thought I'd put in here about why Envirothon is so beneficial, the academics, the knowledge, the careers that students are exposed to, the critical thinking piece that the oral presentation brings on for students. They learn to work as a team together, even if they're not with their friends. They gain new friends because they meet people who have similar interests. So it's a really good program. And like I said before, this is a good year to get involved. So the benefits to coaches. So throughout this, you'll see the blue hyperlink pieces in there. I can't click on those because it's a Zoom, but I will send you this PowerPoint and you can click on those if you wanted to see. There's a little video there from a coach of a very winning team over the years, and he just kind of goes over what the benefits were. But you get to network and get these resources, and we will give you a stipend that you can use to help support your team. And then you, of course, get the recognition in the newspapers and that kind of thing. And then if you win, you really get a lot of recognition. Hi, John. I see you're in there. So what is the Envirothon? Again, on the top, there's a blue hyperlink on there that will give you a video that if you wanted to show this to your team members, this is actual past students who participated in Envirothon. So it kind of goes it from their perspective. It's 5 students make up a team, grades 9 through 12. In the past, you could have 7 students because you would have 2 alternates. Because on the test day, if one of the 5 was sick, you needed someone to step into their place. But this year, because it's virtual, there's only 5 students on the team that will take the test. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. Participants will be tested on aquatics, forestry, soils, and wildlife. That's every year. And then annually, the current topic changes. And this year, water resource management, local control, and local solutions is the topic, which is the same as last year, but the oral presentation problem will be different. And I put in here in bold that many teams use this strategy of taking each member of the team and having them become an expert in one of those areas. I put that in bold because the way that it's laid out this year, I really feel like if you take on that strategy, it will be better for your team, and I think it will be more beneficial. So you'll see when I tell you about the testing platform this year. So the teams will take topic tests. They'll be online and proctored. It's on their honor code. So there'll be some adult in the room, whether it's you or a different adult in the room with them when they take their tests. The tests are going to be used, they're going to be created using ClassMaker. It's kind of a multiple choice, fill in the blank format. And there's a lot of sample tests, at least one, but maybe 2 or 3 sample tests that you can go through just to get the format, to get your students comfortable with the format. Are you guys familiar with ClassMaker? Yeah, I'm not really either, but
no, ma'am.
Yeah, it seems pretty simple. It's kind of like a Google Classroom test. Okay, there's a lot on this slide, but it's just because I wanted to put all of the details on here because I don't want to send this out and then, not have it be complete. So I tried to make it as complete as possible. The training is different. Normally, teams get together at a location and they go through the stations. This year, we have, when I say we, I mean areas 4 and 5 have come up with experts in the field who are really good at presenting the information, and they're going to make videos. And their videos will be about 45 minutes long, and it's going to cover as many of the key topics as they possibly can. And then these videos are going to be uploaded to the YouTube channel the week of February 15th. Personally, I think that's great because it means that you and your team can watch the videos anytime within 3 weeks. So the reason I say 3 weeks is we're asking that teams watch the videos and submit questions that they might have about the topic by Tuesday, March 9th. So after you watch the video, you might want to discuss it or whatever and come up with some questions. And then we will send those questions to the judges, the people who are actually going to write the tests. And then on that week of March 9th, on that Friday, March 12th, there's going to be a Zoom where all the teams in areas 4 and 5 that are going to be competing against each other will come onto the Zoom, and they will all get some oral presentation tips. And I'll tell you how the oral presentation is going to look on the next slide. And they're also going to go into breakout rooms. That's why I think it's a good idea to have your teams, one person from each team, kind of specialize in an area. So your forestry person will go into the forestry breakout room and talk to the person who's writing the test and who did the training for forestry. The aquatics person will go in the aquatics breakout room. Wildlife goes into wildlife breakout, and so forth. You don't have to do it that way. You can just have one person from each of your team go into whatever breakout room and ask the questions on behalf of your team and kind of listen in. It'll all be recorded, so we'll share it all with you so that you can review it with your team and they can review it. So I think it sounds like it will be a nice format as far as supporting the concepts that the students need to know to be successful on the test. Does that make sense? The oral presentation. The oral presentation in the past, you can see the pictures on the bottom. It has been no technology. They have made some kind of display board and they stood in front of 3 to 5 judges and said their plan, because they give you a scenario. This year will be different. This year will be all technology. It will be a PowerPoint with a student narration over top of the PowerPoint. The length will be 10 to 15 minutes. In the past, it was 20 minutes. And it will be just submitted, sent in. The judges will make comments on their PowerPoint so that if they are the winning team and they're going on to the state, they have some constructive feedback, and it'll all be recorded so they can always go back and look at it. So the one thing that students have always gotten out of Envirothon is learning how to stand in front of judges and present. They've always came a long way on that. That was hard for them and it was very beneficial to them. But this year it'll be a little bit different. So if they have to, they could each make their piece to the PowerPoint and then piece it together virtually. And they're so good at that kind of thing that I feel like this will be a nice platform for them to use this year, unfortunately, but it'll be good. The oral presentation problem itself should look a little bit different than in years past. Years past, it took a lot of time and a lot of research to respond to the question. I think, fingers crossed, it hasn't come out yet. I think that it's going to be more of something you can find the information locally. So that should be an improvement from having to spend all your time on oral presentation as a coach. The area competition will look like this. The oral presentation PowerPoint with the voiceover is going to be due on Monday, April 19th. And that same day, Monday, April 19th, we will be posting the tests for each area. So there'll be a test in every area: aquatics, forestry, soils, special topic, wildlife. And you'll have a week to complete the test. Your team will have a week to complete the test and submit it back. So that means that you can, again, I think it's with the time restraints that have always been in place for coaches, I feel like this is opening it up to, okay, you guys decide when you're going to do the test. And if you have somebody who's specializing in aquatics, maybe they can, work on the test and then ask their team for help with the questions they don't know, or, can work something out. So you'll have a whole week to do the test rather than having to go, in person one day and do the tests. They'll be scored by the judges. The people who created the test are the ones who are going to score it. They should have it scored within a week. And then the top 3 teams will be announced and they will advance to the state competition. And the state competition will also be virtual. And more information on that will be coming out. The 3 teams will go. It will be on May 16th. And if one of those teams wins the state competition, then they go on to the national Envirothon, which last year, a Virginia team, Jamestown, actually won the National Envirothon, but it was different. So we're not sure what that's going to look like, if that's going to be able to be in person or if that's going to have to still be virtual. So this was already in the slides and I was like, okay, this might be good to show. So you get your team together, you work on your oral presentation problem, because that is by far the most time-consuming piece. Then you want to study your resources, watch the videos, and tune in on March 12th for the Zoom. Then your oral presentation is due on April 19th. And then you'll take your tests that week of April 19th to the 25th. And the following week after that, your team will know if they advanced or not. I put this in here because I'm going to share this PowerPoint with you. It just kind of lays out all those dates. So just on one screen here, you have all the dates that you need to remember. And I copied this down here, the area 4 and 5, straight off of the association's website. So, but I put that on there too, because you will need to register your team, and I'll be contacting you about that. Here's a testament from an Envirothon alum that the lessons I learned from my Envirothon experience won me a full scholarship to college, paid for me to go to 21 countries on 6 continents, and locked me in with some of my best friends to this day. Michelle Henry, Pennsylvania Envirothon. The students who get into it and work well together, they do make lifetime friendships out of it. Also, questions. If you have any questions now, I'm happy to answer. Also, but I do want to say that the people who are on the committee are really asking that please provide feedback. If you look at something and you say, this doesn't make sense, this is not going to work, speak up, because we really went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and think that what's going to work on paper is going to work. But if you don't think it is, it's somewhat flexible because we're still carving it out. And I went ahead and put the links to the 2 main resources that you will want to use for training right there on that slide. And if you need professional development hours after you go through this, let me know and I'll give you a certificate for an hour of professional development. You guys have any questions?
I'm good. I've been through the system a couple times now.
Yeah.
So you wanted feedback. I really, last year before everything was upended, I really liked all of the workshops that we did. I thought that was crucial.
Cool.
When I was a student doing this, we focused probably 90% of our time only on the special topic and kind of relied on the students' natural or, spillover from class knowledge of these topics. But, a lot of them, particularly the group that we have, I haven't had them in a science class yet. And I don't really know what their background information on the constant subjects would be. So, but that's my only feedback. I think it's a great program.
Thanks, John.
Yeah.
I think that these videos that are being made are going to be equivalent to that, and you won't have to travel at a specific time. You can watch them whenever, and your students can watch them over and over again. I think the videos are going to be key, and we will have them for future Envirothons as well, because we hand-picked the experts, the ones who are really into it and who do such a good job. Those are the ones who are going to be making the videos. All right, well.
I was gonna say, I don't have any questions other than I'm really excited and looking forward to this.
Great, yeah, thank you, cool.
Yeah, I roped her into helping me this year, so.
Yeah, so when does the videos get sent out?
The videos are due to us by February 12th, and they may be on February 13th, they may be put on the YouTube channel, but they may not be on there till the 15th, but they should be out there. So you'll have 3 weeks to get them in with questions before you meet with the people who made the videos, who are going to be the judges and the test writers.
Okay.
Great.
Well,
yeah. So I think it's very doable. It's, it's hard because we like to all get together, and the students really like to get together with each other. So that kind of makes me sad, but it'll be okay.
Strange times.
It is strange times. Yep. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to share this. I recorded it, so I'll share it with you in case you want to show it to any of your students. And I'll share the PowerPoint with you as well, so you have all the links that are in it. And if you have any questions, just let me know.
Squeaking her duck. Now, thanks for this again. Sorry, I missed the very first part, but this is going to be a valuable resource. Thanks so much.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, have a great holiday.
All right. See you around.
Bye. There we go.